What's up, pups? Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. My name is Saint Wolf, and welcome to my channel, Saint Wolf Vision. You're here because you saw the title of the video, and you want to know what is going to happen in the rest of this cycle. Well, it's very easy, and I'm going to show you literally in 5 minutes all the important information you need to make this decision. And it's very simple, all right? In the meantime, subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy this content, and there's a Telegram group at the very top where you can come to answer your questions. Now, this is really important really quick. I need you to know this. All the data that's been pummeled into the market is designed to throw you off right now, okay? And I could go through, CPI and bond market and Dixie and the employment data and all that, but you've already seen that and you still can't figure it out. And anyone who's looking at all that data can come to a conclusion in multiple directions from it. And the reason is we're at the end of a larger cycle and everything is quite irrational right now, all right? And it's designed to throw you off. But I do think we're going up, and I'm going to show you for exactly how long, and I'm going to show you the few things that are going to just cut through the noise, okay? Really simple, all right? So once again, subscribe to the channel if you like this content, and go up to the Telegram groups. If you have any questions at all, we can answer them for you. All right, let's get into it. It's going to be super easy. First of all, here we are with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at 111,000. We are in a channel that we've been in since 2022, okay? And we've stayed in this channel. We've wicked in and out of it. We've extended it before, and we've broken below it a little bit. Well, we've generally stayed in this channel, and we are right now just breaking under it a little bit, okay? And I think the cycle lows are going to come in before we move to the upside, okay? And where I think we could go from here, very simply, is possibly to this midline, which has been respected for the last 3 years, so I don't see why that wouldn't happen. And if it happens around the end of September, you're talking about $150,000 Bitcoin, 140, 150,000. If we move to the very top of this channel, you're looking at about 190, 200,000, 220,000 if we overextend it, something along those lines. But it's very possible, and it could happen in a very short amount of time, in a month or two, okay? So far the uptrend looks great. We've done this before. We've touched the bottom of the channel. We've gone below it, as you can see, and we've recovered and gone up without any issues before. And I don't see why this time's any different right now, okay? Now, if I come to the weekly MACD, we are turning over a little, but we're not. We could easily turn back and get that last euphoric move to the top, okay, without any problem. Now, let's go look at ETH. Now, one of the warnings I want to show you really quick is if I come here to the monthly, we do have a bit of this double candle or tweezer pattern here at the top. But when I get confluence with other things I'm going to show you, I don't have to completely buy into the fact that this is end of cycle signal, okay? I absolutely still believe that we could get one last move up, maybe to 150. Maybe we go higher. We'll have to see when we get there. But what is important is there's more upside. Now I'm going to come here and show you the ETH, okay? This is why I think there's more upside, and we're about to be faked out in a big way right now. You see Ethereum right now is at $4,300, okay? And we've come up and hit resistance, which is the old all-time high, which is 4,800 and change, okay? But what's really interesting is if you lay out this cycle over the last year and a half, you can see in this Wyckoff accumulation pattern how well this tracks out, okay? And I can maybe make this a little longer, maybe. Yeah. So, I mean, it should be quite obvious right now, just from what I have up on the screen, what this looks like, okay? And once you get up here to the SOS, which is where we are right now, okay? You're going to consolidate, form a nice hammer right here, and pop to the upside, which is exactly what I think is going to happen, because these patterns are quite reliable, okay? The probability of this breaking down is quite slim. Maybe, it would have to be a black swan of some kind, okay? And that's important to know, okay? That, of course, those are possible. Anything is possible. But when I see this, it makes me quite confident that institutions have stacked up and they are going to redistribute at a higher price, okay? And for me, that's at least possibly a 2x from here, but I think a 3, 4x on Ethereum could happen, and it's very possible, okay? But this is a Wall Street accumulation pattern, okay? So I think higher targets are coming. I do think we could retest possibly 3,800, 3,900 to bring us back into this range of the old all-time high and to really frighten the market participants. This is a very interesting psychological zone where we've been to many times before. So possibly we come back, touch there, and then we start moving to the upside past 5K and beyond. All right, now this next chart should blow your mind. This is the others, okay? This is all your crypto excluding your top 10, and it is against BTC price. And we can see that it is in a downtrend. Obviously, all of crypto and altcoins have been crushed compared to Bitcoin. But what's really interesting is it has formed this falling wedge pattern, okay? This is a classic pattern. You know, the probability is that it breaks to the upside. It's not a guarantee, but it's a high probability. But when I look back at the ETH that I think this is going to break out, I have a good idea that this is also going to break out to move to the upside. Now, really quick, just so you guys see, these are falling wedge. Doesn't matter if the prices come from below and it's a continuation or it's a reversal. It doesn't matter. Okay, you can see here. Very simply, they break to the upside. It's a classic pattern, okay? And this is in a massive, massive 5-year falling wedge. So the upside is going to be tremendous. It's going to be absolutely tremendous, okay? Another interesting thing I want to show you on this other chart, once again to emphasize, this is all of crypto minus ETH and your top 10 against BTC, okay, priced in BTC. If you come down here and you see this MACD, we're on a monthly chart, by the way, so it's a very reliable time frame. You can see how when BTC, when this was up here at the top and your altcoins were extraordinarily high in value, this turned over, okay, this MACD, and it shows exactly where that top was in 2021. And you can come back here as well, see the MACD is very reliable. In 2018, we had another top, okay? And we've been crashing, all of crypto against Bitcoin, been crashing since then, okay? You don't need this to tell you that. Your portfolio has been very clear. But what's really interesting is it is down extraordinarily low right now, okay? Now, of course, the price of BTC is extraordinarily high. Well, last time it was down this low was in the bear market of 2020 after the zombie apocalypse, before we ripped to the upside. And you see, once these crossed, the red turns into the green, the altcoin market, Ethereum as well, would go absolutely berserker. And you see, we are crossing, okay? We are crossing. We're about to cross. We haven't crossed yet. But this red, which is the energy of this downtrend, is coming to termination, okay? And this is going to turn into green very, very soon, okay? This is going to make little green mountains soon, okay? So just from looking at this MACD, even if we're not certain of the timeline of when the crypto market is going to start to go up, or risk assets in general are going to go up, we know that in general, anytime you've bought down here was probably a great time to buy. And I would say that with very high confidence now, even if we get another slightly lower move down, it doesn't matter. This is crushed, and I know what's coming is a massive move to the upside. And when you look at this falling wedge I showed you up here, you look back at that ETH chart, that looks like it's going to break out in a big way. I think altcoins in the general crypto market has a lot of upside coming in the very near future, okay? Now, really quick, I want to show you a couple other things really quick to help kind of send this point home. This is the altcoin season index, and above 75 is generally when we have massive altcoins. Of course, you want to be accumulating when we're down low, okay? And that's when the prices are the worst. And you can see we're at 63, and we're moving up. We are absolutely moving up. It is forming what it looks to me is going to form an ascending wedge. So we'll get up here, and that'll be the top, okay? And you can see back in 2024, in the end of 2024, we had a massive altcoin season. I'm going to take this all the way back so you can see 2021, and you can see the spring of 2021 was massive altcoin season as well. And even in the summer of 2022, we had one, right? And I remember this. This was summer of 2023. Things were really bad, right? And then we started picking up steam, okay? And this thing oscillates. So we've been down here, and we're kind of in the 2/3 of the way up. So, I would think, looking at Confluence with the ETH chart, with the others chart, that this is going to complete and finish the final leg to the upside. And just so you know, if you look at this and you think, well, it looks like it's almost over. Well, most of the gains happen in this last part. Okay, so you are still early because this hasn't broken out yet. So most of the gains are coming. You haven't missed anything yet. But when they start, it's going to happen very quickly. So you will miss out. So you need to be positioning yourself accordingly. Now, another one I want to show you is the CBBI. Now, the CBBI is really interesting. This is an aggregate of many well-known indicators in the crypto space. Okay, let me see if I make this a little smaller. You guys see this? I'll move it down here. Okay, there you go. So you got the pi cycle top. You got the nipple, which is when people are in profit or not in profit. The MVRV score, reserve risk, Woodbull, pool multiple, HODL ratio, 2-year moving average in Bitcoin. I don't know what that one is, but I know what the rest of them are. So it's aggregating all these indicators together to give you a really interesting picture. And you can see when things are heated and not heated. And obviously tops usually happen when we are heated. And you can see back in 2021 how high we went. And if you look where we are now, it looks like we're just about to make that last pop to the upside, okay? And this is when all the gains come. If you remember in 2021, this was a winter, November of 2020, even though we were here, all the gains happened right after that point. And we're at that kind of a pivotal point right now where I think from here, a lot of gains are going to happen for the crypto market. And albeit it could be in a very short amount of time. This can happen in, anywhere from 30 to 90 days. Okay, you don't need 6 months for this. Literally 1, 2, 3 months, you can see 50, 100Xs happen quite easily all across the crypto market in this last move up, okay? And so this is CBBI. This is just telling us that the market looks like it has more upside to go before it is finished. And one thing you need to understand, psychologically, these things need to happen. They need to happen for a number of reasons. Just as in when prices are down at the bottom, they need to go very low. When they go up, it's not enough for them to be overvalued. They need to go into euphoric territory, okay? This is just the nature of all cycles, okay? And last one is stages in a bubble. These always play out, no matter what timeline you're on, no matter what asset, in some way this is going to play out, okay? I believe that we are here in a bear trap. That's why September feels the way it does. You've got tons of news coming up, all this negative sentiment, and I'm going to show you something really interesting about that negative sentiment right now. So another thing about negative sentiment is that it's filled with negative media attention. That's why so many people are saying that's it, it's over, the markets are about to roll over and come down, is because ever since all summer long, they've been pummeling us with all kind of negative news to keep that kind of in the back of your mind, feeling that, you know what, it's not looking good, it's over. And they do that by, what do we have? We've got a comet, K1 Atlas, it's flying toward the Earth.
Scientists study this newly discovered interstellar object, the stranger it seems.
Right, so you got this news, and it's it's an aggregate of news. You've got, remember this video, the Trump had some, I think somebody put up kind of emoji on something on there. But they were just showing that, the president is injured. This was like a week ago. So it kind of, you've got all these reasons to be bearish right now. You're thinking, oh man, what if the president gets sick? The president passes away, or the comet start slamming into the earth. And what else happened? They're talking about the deportations are coming. Civil unrest is about to happen. So that's why it feels like that, okay? All this negative sentiment, jobs data is coming in. It's not good. I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but you've heard all that, right? The jobs data, the housing market collapsing, blah, blah, blah. But these things don't happen overnight. They take a few months to play out, okay? And when they barrage you with all this sentiment, and they do that here, it's called a bear trap, okay? It's to keep you from buying in, because what comes next is a flip of all this negative, all these news stories that make you feel kind of bearish about the country and life in general and the economy. They're going to flip that to positive, okay? So maybe this week, maybe beginning of October. I think it could be as soon as this week. I think maybe we have a little bit of red, but then maybe by end of this week or quite soon, you're going to just see all of a sudden some new announcements that a country is buying Bitcoin, or that the United States has decided to do something with Ethereum, okay? Or I don't know what it is, and it doesn't matter. I just know it's going to happen because it happens like this all the time. So, and all of a sudden, everyone will stop talking about comets hurtling toward Earth. They'll stop talking about the president's injured hand, and they'll stop talking about, civil war and unrest. All of a sudden, there'll be this breather, and there'll just be this positive news about, oh, the Fed's talking about, going to print money soon, and they're going to do this, and they're going to, this is going to happen with Ethereum. Now, none of it has to be true. That's just a media cycle. But that's going to send us into enthusiasm, okay, as you see on this chart. And that enthusiasm is going to create this last leg up. And it can happen very quick because, as you see, it's quite vertical, okay? And this is where all the gains are made, all right, very simply. And that's what I think is coming right now with this Ethereum chart. It's been building up. Ethereum is going to go absolutely vertical out of here, okay? And I don't know, I think that we could hit 15K. 14K, 16K, at least 10K. We're going to get up there, at least a 2-3x from here for sure. Bitcoin, I think, will make that last move up, possibly. And as you see, this chart should break to the upside, and we should get a nice, big, juicy run. And it's just where you're going to make all your wealth. And that's why they do it this way, because they need to keep people sidelined and off sides, okay? So they come buying in later, all right? So don't throw in the towel. Stay focused right now. Don't get thrown off your game. You really need to pay attention. Now, once again, this isn't financial advice. Anything is possible, even a black swan. I don't know what they have planned, but when I put together the clues for me, I'm bullish. I'm going to default to being bullish right now, and I'm expecting a break to the upside pretty soon, and quite a glorious bull run is ahead, no matter how long it is. It could be a month, it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months more. I don't know. And to be honest, with the games they can play, we don't know how they can extend it. They don't have to print money. They don't have to adjust rates. They can leave them where they are. The Fed and, the couriers of this economy, the people who create it and manage the game, they have a lot of levers at their disposal, and they're quite clever. They're good at keeping us off sides and making us miss out. So I think something's going to happen, and we're going to get some upside. So once again, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I hope you really enjoyed this content. You can go up to the Telegram groups. They're right there, and ask any questions you want. We got somebody that'll help you out. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.